Branch police officer sentenced to 10 years in prison for the shooting death of an unarmed teenager in 2016. Ken Johnson learned his sentence less than an hour ago.
Johnson shot to 16-year-old Jose Cruz in 2016 after spotting Cruz and a friend trying to steal one of his seats from his vehicle.
Now, this story is breaking just within the last 45 minutes. The court hearing is still underway right now at 5.
Now, that's where we're going to find our Monica Hernandez in just a minute. But right now, we're listening to people comment after the sentencing. Let's listen in.
All the evidence, saw the videos, heard the arguments of Jason Herman and the district attorney, and they brought an indictment against Ken Johnson. A jury heard extensive evidence, videos, testimony, and a jury also convicted Ken Johnson of murder. And let there be no confusion here. Ken Johnson did not win anything today. For the next 10 years, Ken Johnson is going to live in a solitude cell, afraid to go out, afraid to walk among his peers in prison, with a number that says convicted murderer. He is a murderer. He murdered a 16-year-old. He executed him. He was malicious. He was aggressive. He had no compassion, and he will serve 10 years in prison. The family will fight every day, every year, every moment to make sure that he serves 10 years. We will mobilize the family. We will mobilize our community to make sure that he doesn't get out in 5 years. To say that we are happy with the sentence of 10 years would be an understatement. We are not happy. The family is not happy. A life is not worth 10 years. It is worth more. We understand the circumstances in which Jose Cruz and Edgar Rodriguez, they were committing an offense, but they did not have their day in court. They didn't have the right to bring forth lawyers like Mr. Rogers to defend them and to present their defense to a judge. Ken Johnson was the judge, he was the jury, and he was the executioner. And like Ana Enriquez and Norma Ochoa have said, he will be.
That's Carlos Quintanilla. He is speaking for the victim's family. Carlos, of course, well acquainted with this case, been all along. To his right, you see the Dallas District Attorney. That is Faith Johnson. They've been talking about this case that we have been following now for quite some time.
And this is the very latest. If you're just joining us, former Farmers Branch police officer Ken Johnson. He has been sentenced to 10 years in prison for the murder of 16-year-old Jose Cruz. This happened back in March of 2016. You are hearing here the family spokesperson, Carlos Quintanilla, saying they are very disappointed in this sentence. He says that a life is not worth 10 years. Carlos Quintanilla, a Hispanic activist, speaking on behalf of Jose Cruz's family today.
We will, of course, be bringing you more on this entire story. The family very disappointed with what's going on. Carlos Quintanilla promising that he will make sure that Ken Johnson, that the family will make sure that he serves all of the 10 years involved. We'll be going back to this story perhaps tonight, News 8 at 6 o'clock and, of course, 10 o'clock, and much more on this. What you're seeing right now, the close-up of that picture, I believe that is Jose Cruz's mother, who is, again, using Carlos Quintanilla as the person who's going to be the spokesperson for the family. Much more on this a little bit later.